Let me paint a picture for you. Ripped jeans, baggy hoodie, pair of shoes that look like they've seen some miles. Now, is the person you would imagine this fit young, spirited, authority-defying teen, or a trending celebrity influencer posting a fit pic on Instagram? In today's times, I'd have a hard time betting on who you're picturing. A lot of clothing brands that you probably would associate with that outfit were most likely the go-to brands for the youth as they came to discover their own style. But now that youth have grown up, can they even afford the brands that they once helped grow? For this episode, we're at a gem of a find in the city. We're at one of two of the Home Court locations. This is Home Court DC, located in Georgetown. Streetwear, once a subculture built on rebellion, comfort, and accessibility, has undeniably evolved into a space where luxury fashion and exclusivity collide.
No other designers out there paying attention to this surgence of hip hop that was coming mainstream. Actually, most designers didn't even want to touch it. They didn't want hip hop artists wearing their clothing, and we embraced it because we were part of that culture that was coming up at the time.
Originally, streetwear culture stood in stark contrast to the world of high-end fashion, offering affordable pieces, often designed by independent or small brands.
You know, it wasn't called streetwear back then. It was just more artist-led, independent t-shirt brands.
Streetwear brands like Supreme, Stussy carved out a lane that was unique to their street-based origins, offering graphic tees, hoodies, and caps that were accessible to a broad audience.
A lot of people collect them, you know, like if, say like, you know, like these, you know, there's 10 colors and a lot of people will buy every single color, you know. And then as soon as there's, as soon as there's something new, they get all of them colors. I mean, we sell hundreds of them a week.
However, as streetwear gained prominence, the line between casual wear and high fashion began to blur. In recent years, the pricing of streetwear pieces has soared to levels that rival established luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Maison Margiela. A simple graphic tee from Rude or a pair of jeans from Vetements can easily go upwards of $300 to $500. The resale market for streetwear has contributed significantly to the inflated prices. Limited drops of highly coveted pieces from brands like Supreme, Palace, Denim Tears often lead to frenzied purchasing by consumers and resellers alike. Bots and resellers dominate this scene, purchasing mass quantities of products and flipping them for multiple times their original retail price. The question now arises as to whether streetwear has lost its original essence. Has it become so commodified that the only place to buy authentic streetwear is through resellers or at a high-end luxury store? Let's talk to our gracious host for this episode, Richard Bird, to get his take on this topic. Appreciate you taking the time out for it today, man. Love the space. Let's get right into it, man. Can you describe any memories growing up of streetwear?
Yeah, I'm getting old. So the memories are a little different than they were. I've had the pleasure of honestly being a part of a couple of different decades and generations of streetwear. I was, grew up a little disadvantaged, so it was just hand-me-downs from older brothers, being the youngest of four. So back then, without the influence of social media or anything like that, it was just, it was the true essence of it being in you, not on you. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Whatever you had, you just had to work with it and make it look good.
Do you still carry that same sentiment with you, like even now, having your own store with streetwear as well? More
than ever. Having the store, kind of running the store the way we have and kind of portraying resale the way we do.
Yeah.
It's through an accessibility lens. And, it's made me love it even more as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
With the Silver Spring location, we started there in 2017. We did streetwear and sneakers there up until last year, about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So when we had the opportunity to move to DC, You know, I grew up coming down to Georgetown, going to Major, going to a kick spot when I was a kid. So there was this full circle moment of being able to own your own space, your own location here. And so it was something we had to take.
So why do you think these luxury brands are coming into the streetwear scene?
Interestingly enough, you know, I wore these shoes today. They're a 01 Dapper Dan collab with, I can't remember the guy's name, but these were sold at Union out in LA and New York in 2001. And the Dapper Dan was putting luxury materials from Louis Vuitton bags on shoes back then, selling them as like kind of a custom, an upgraded version of the shoes that were available. So, you know, we can look at how designers impacted streetwear and that culture for as far back as, you know, 24 years now. The high fashion stuff is cool too, man. It's really good. It's storied. It's these fashion houses that are 100 years old. Yeah. Good materials, good craftsmanship. You know, they hire the best designers in the world to head their house. You know, creative directors. So it's manipulation of fabrics and proportions and stuff like that. So it's beautiful to see. You know, this stuff costs money for a reason, but it's just really cool to see them mix it with streetwear.
Do you think that you being in the streetwear scene and game for so long, do you think the influence of streetwear has changed?
I always go back to influence in social media. Yeah, I think now we live in we're part of a culture at large where, you know, we're competing with each other on a daily basis. So the natural evolution, as Virgil said, is drifting towards luxury. It's this idea that, you know, it being on you, not in you. You know what I mean? It's validation. It's this idea that, you know, if you can put it on, that it's going to fill some type of void. And that's just not the case. That's never been what drove this culture. You know what I mean? Right. It's always been about purity, individuality. You know, finding that good find, being a part of a community, someone helping someone else out. Yeah. And that's the culture I grew up in, and that's still the culture we're a part of here.
Yeah. Is there ever a time where you as an owner have to take that bullet, take that hit? Because you're trying to feed the culture that's not asking for the $300 tees, but at the end of the day, your store has to stay up.
For sure.
Yeah. How do you manage that with trying to feed the culture?
I think you try to, for me, it's been going volume. Yeah. You try to move product in and out, you know. I know a lot of people can sit on this idea with having markups, margins that are 500%, you know what I mean? But we try to kind of, if we're gonna buy low, we sell low. And so, you know, while we might not have the best payouts in the world, you know, at least you're gonna get a product at a reasonable price. And I think that'll drive, you know, sales for you inevitably. But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely for a lot of the time, it's a thankless industry. Yeah. You know what I mean? People want extremely high for their stuff because, you know, it's your stuff. You value it. You paid a lot for it. But it's kind of like driving a car off the lot. Once you drive it off the lot, it kind of changes. But you know, we try to do our best with it. Yeah. And it's always fun and it's always interesting, and buying is great, man. It's one of the best parts of this. You get to know people, what they like, and so you know, that's the buying process is really great. It's you know, it's something that keeps us going for sure.
Definitely, fantastic energy in here. And I will say the one thing I noticed when I came in here and started looking at the shoes, I saw two I liked. It was a very reasonable price. I don't want to say before you did.
Come shop.
It was I will word to everything. I looked, I was like, okay. So I appreciate you for that. You're not lying.
Yeah.
He's keeping it 100. Those are reasonable prices. Love it. The energy in here is great. I'd come kicking in here for real if I was on a random Saturday.
You're always welcome to. That's love for us.
You know, thank you, man. Appreciate your time, Rich.
Thanks for being here.
Love the store.
Streetwear is deeply rooted in Black culture. And I would argue that the essence of streetwear comes from everyday wear in urban Black communities where people were, and they still are, just trying to feel good about themselves and ultimately make a fashion statement with whatever you can afford. So we can't talk about streetwear without the influence of hip hop culture, dating back to the late 70s, early 80s. From the oversized clothing, the tracksuits, the sneakers, clothing with prominent logos. But street style isn't just about having some formula of baggy pants, oversized graphic tee, and sneakers. It's more than the clothes. It's about the accessories. It's about the attitude. When I'm on my street style vibe and I'm shopping for pieces, subconsciously, I'm thinking about how my favorite hip hop artists dress and the brands from the 80s and 90s that have pioneered hip hop fashion. I'm also always on the hunt for a lovely oversized jacket. A Pele Pele or Avirex type leather jacket is the epitome of streetwear in my eyes. Now, I am not the authority on streetwear, nor do I think that there's only one right way to partake in streetwear. However, I do think that it is very important to have a brief baseline knowledge of streetwear's roots to help inform you of how you want to enter this space, to help determine what kinds of pieces are most important for you to have in your closet. Also, it's helpful to identify people and or images for inspo if you need an example. So hey, maybe I can be your streetwear style inspo.
Ultimately, the evolution of streetwear into a luxury commodity raises important questions about the nature of consumer culture and brand value. It can be argued that streetwear brands are simply responding to market demands, charging what consumers are willing to pay for their products. The high prices are often justified by factors such as limited production, exclusivity, and the use of high-quality materials. However, one must consider whether these prices are truly reflecting of the value of these items themselves or simply the result of calculated marketing strategies designed to create artificial scarcity. Was this always the inevitable route that streetwear culture was going to take? Is this actually a fair process considering the current market designers got to work in? Listen, the culture is shifting. It's our opportunity to shift with it. Now, is streetwear for the people? We'll leave that up to you. This is Fashion for the People, the place to explore what's really happening in the fashion industry and why. Together, we're revealing the conscience within the culture, and this is just the beginning of the conversation.
We could not have made this episode without the generous owner of Home Court DC, Rich, and we could not share this message without you. So thank you for watching.